If Ray can do this, coming from another country and then homeless and then all these things, like, what's my excuse? Hey, Rhino Nation, imagine for a moment that you get to be in a room with a bunch of other people doing deals. Ray Jong, Joe McCall, and myself, we are actually calling land sellers live. You can hear the minutia. You can see how we talk to them. You can see how we negotiate with them and actually do deals with us on on just a one workshop, an event that we will all personally be at. I want to talk to you about this in this podcast today. We're going to be actually discussing this. Me, Ray, and Joe have already did this one time. We called that the beta test, I guess. We all did deals while we were there, me, Joe, and Ray, as well as the guys and the gals that came and did deals with us. So today we're going to talk about it on this podcast, and I'm excited to share it with you.
All right. Hey, guys, do you want to see the video? We just got this from my video guy, Rob, cool friend who was there. I'm going to share my screen here and let me just know if you can see it here. I'm going to share the audio. This is only 2 minutes long, so check this out. Oh, I got to hit play.
Hey guys, Joe, Brent, and Ray here. We are in the middle of this amazing workshop. We're calling it the Do Deals Workshop. We're talking to sellers, we're making offers, we're doing deals.
This has been a blast. I love it. I love meeting everybody. It's neat to see Ray and Joe and Brent. I follow all of them, and so to see them in person, I love having a team.
The atmosphere at the event has been super collaborative. Ultimately, when you don't have clarity, you have so many things that you need to do. Your marketing, your mailing, your follow-up, your calls, your texting. It's really helpful to come to this kind of thing because once you get clarity, that's pretty much the whole thing.
It's the power of proximity. We always do more deals when we're in a room with deal makers, deal doers. Joe sold a land deal yesterday. I got an offer on a land deal. And then Ray also sold a land deal too yesterday, right?
Man, anytime I can get in the room with these three guys, it's worth it no matter what they're doing.
We went to a baseball game last night, and this guy's on the phone talking to sellers.
The fact that they went with us last night to the game and we all got to just kind of hang out, that was just really a cool moment.
We are at the Cardinals game right now with all of my friends. Cardinals are up 2-0. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope that you come to the next little event that we're going to do.
I wanted to gain more confidence and to network and meet wonderful people, and of course our leaders, Joe and Ray and Brent. That's why we came all the way from Hawaii.
I came here with questions and I got all of them answered.
For me, it's just like proof of concept that actually I want to be around people who doing exactly the same thing, and it's possible.
Get started. Don't let anything hold you back. Take massive imperfect action.
Like my mind right now, I'm thinking big, and I think everything is possible thanks to what I have learned.
You're going to walk away doing deals. That's the big goal. That's why we call it the Do Deals Workshop. If you're going to have any interest in coming, can't wait to see you. We'll see you there.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that fun?
That was a blast.
That was, I've done a lot of workshops, and I'll be honest, that was the best one I've ever done. I don't know. What about you guys?
It's my first one, so.
Your first one, Ray.
That's the first. I've sat through a bunch of boring seminars where people are just teaching, and you leave there and your head's like melted, and then you wake up Monday morning. I'm like, what do I do now? But that one, I think, why it was the best one I've ever been to and ever hosted was the fact that we did deals while we were there and gave people not just the permission, the confidence, and the exact step-by-steps on how to do things. Now, granted, it was a short period of time, but we did deals there. And that's what gets people the confidence is the actual results of doing a deal or seeing someone else do a deal next to them. And I don't know what it is, but when I'm in those type of rooms, I do more deals. I said that multiple times at the event, and I made a bunch of money while I was there with my own personal land deals.
Yeah. Yeah. We flipped one that, I think we did 20 grand on it. Now that was a deal we've been working on for weeks, but it actually sold that day. We had students there making offers. So why don't we just cover maybe a recap of what we did? those 3 days. 2 days? What do you say about that?
I love it.
I had this idea, and I approached Brent and Ray, and I said, let's do a workshop where it's not just your normal workshop. Let's make it different. Let's actually just show what we do and then do it. So let's do the first day where we teach, the second day where we do. What a concept, right? And then we said, what if we make it even better? We'll take it a step further and give everybody who comes there actual leads that they can actually make offers on that came from our marketing that we did for them. And so what we did is day one, each of us took a turn. We spent each maybe a couple hours talking about how we find our deals. I like to send a lot of neutral letters. I like to send not as many as Ray, more than Brent. It was interesting and that's the cool thing too about this workshop, right? Is because like each of us have different ways that we do it. And I'm more hands off. I don't like talking to sellers. I just want to, I send a little bit of direct mail. Brent sends a little bit, even less of direct mail, but he sends specific offers. And Ray, he's just this crazy ninja who's out there sending tens of thousands of letters and postcards every single week to get a lot of deals. So anyway, that's what we did day one. We just took turns. And then day two, we actually did the stuff that we taught the day before. We actually looked at deals. We showed people how we would make offers on them, how we would evaluate them and all that stuff. And it was a blast. People might think, well, wouldn't they get confused if they hear 3 different ways that you do land deals? But nobody that I heard was confused by any of that. They were just even more excited.
I think that was the biggest. That was the biggest kind of response, and the feedback that I got from everyone is they really like to see the 3 different ways. And I mean, even Jim Rohn says it: read 3 books, come up with your own conclusion. We weren't saying like 3 different crazy. Like we're all sending direct mail, so we're all doing the same thing. We're all doing land. We're not saying, oh, do apartment complexes or do houses. That's where things get confusing. We're not looking for some shiny object or what I call the unicorn. We're all doing land with direct mail. We're just showing, and I love what you said, Joe. I could show you 3 different mail pieces, but the worst one is no mail piece.
Yeah.
And it's not something we came to a conclusion that we will share with other people. It's 3 different ways we do land flipping business. And Joe actually on the first day inspired me to mail his own hometown, Missouri.
I think everyone is.
And I actually got a deal from it.
Already?
Yes. So we didn't just teach, right? It's not something we just, we read from a book or we learn from other people. It's what we do. It's just a very simple action steps. Land flipping is generally very easy. So, Joe told me Missouri people are very nice and kind, so that's where I go, right? But
it's nice to speak to the nice people. It's always good to get a nice land seller.
Oh, this is horrible. This is what happened. So I started sharing about these deals that we had recently been doing. One of them was that one we just sold that day, and it was in 2 counties in Southwest Missouri, and Ray was like, oh, I've never mailed there before. And Joe just did deals. How many letters did you actually send that day to those markets there?
I sent about 4,500 mailers in one county. It's called Jefferson County.
Okay. Yes.
Not too far from St. Louis where we were. So I said, since Joe said very nice people, right? So let's try it out. I haven't met a lot of nice people yet, but I got a deal out of it.
So you already got a deal. It's only been a couple weeks. Nice.
Correct.
Speed of implementation right there.
And that's the key to this thing. That's the number one, I think, law of success in this business is the speed of implementation.
Yeah.
Right. And anybody that was at this thing, the ones that are going to be successful doing deals, they're the ones who are going to just implement. They don't understand all the steps yet. They have a lot of what if questions, but you know what? They just implement it. And that was our big goal, wasn't it? Just to get people out of their comfort zone and actually doing the stuff, right? Just
take action. You never know what's going to happen. It's like, I was a little uncomfortable calling those sellers in front of everybody like that because I've never done that in front of an audience. But what's the worst thing that could have happened? That guy come through the phone and eat me or something?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen? Okay. So we started off with me talking about how I kind of do my marketing, and I mainly do neutral letters. I'll send to saying, hey, do you want to sell your property? Call me. We'd like to make you an offer on it. We don't tell them the offer. We just say, would you like to sell? And then Brent, you went next. Talk about what you talked during that day one.
Yeah, so there's a couple ways that I love. So really the number one thing is we've got to get in front of landowners. A lot of people are like, well, what title company do I use, or what contract, or how do I sell it? No, you're thinking too far ahead. Let's start with the step by step. What's the number one thing we've got to do is get in front of a landowner. So one of the best ways that I do that is I like to send what's called LOLs, land offer letters. That's a specific offer amount that we are offering for their property. And they know right there, like that kind of weeds out the people that are not motivated. Now, those offers are never ever completely accurate. And I don't care. A lot of times we will renegotiate it further, whether they sign it or not. And sometimes they'll call and say, hey, you're offering too low. Would you do it for this? But that kind of weeds out the people that just want me to become an appraiser or be a land appraiser for them. And the biggest thing is, and I might miss out on some land deals, but the biggest thing is that allows me to have a lifestyle business with my land business. I get land deals back in my inbox. And yes, we follow up later on with an actual neutral postcard, but that's how we keep the phone ringing. That's how we keep the deal flow going. And we've been doing that consistently every single week now for years. And we just got a land deal the other day we mailed almost 2 years ago. So wow. That's my number one way of getting in front of landowners.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Absolutely.
Ray, what about you?
So I share mostly about how to talk to the sellers negotiation part, and also what to check before you actually buy the land. Just some records sharing today is the new month of June. So from October to right now, I'm 3 deals away from 200 deals I bought during this time period.
Awesome.
You know, some of the deals I got super cheap. I got some land even for free. So we just want to share that secret. Normally, you know, of course, it's in the course. We charge for those content, but we just share that inside the event. I mean, just to add more value to it, I have been doing land for about 5 years. I just by listening to Joe and Brent, I learned a whole bunch of, you know, stuff my own. You know, and if you just start doing land deals, I bet you'll learn a lot more.
And you send blind offers, kind of like the LOLs Brent's talking about, right?
Yeah.
But you'll send, Brent, what's interesting, you go down deep into like a neighborhood and you'll send 50 or 100 to very specific areas, right?
Yeah, we'll go down to a neighborhood or community level. We just want to see land selling. And it doesn't matter if it's infill buildable lots in a neighborhood, in an actual city block, or if they're in the middle of nowhere. As long as we see land selling, that tells me one or two things. There's demand. Someone wants to buy that land because we're seeing stuff sell. And number two, it allows me to figure out what the price per square foot or the price per acre is.
Yep, good. And then Ray, you like to send, you'll just pick a county and you'll pull a simple list of everybody who owns land there.
Yep.
And I don't even think you filter it out, right? Much.
I do. I don't mail to people who own the land less than 0.1 acres. I will delete some duplicate mailing address and I'll just mail to everybody else.
It doesn't matter when they bought it.
More than 5 years, of course.
Okay.
But I believe some people has lead problem. You know, most people don't make money because they have a lead problem. They don't have enough leads. Yeah. That's why they don't make offers. They don't have deals. And once you solve the lead problem, you solve everything. But what's the root of the lead problem is they think I need to do everything perfectly to get the quality better. But for me, it's quantity. I mean, I can mail 100,000 a month. And if I do the offer price wrong, I can get some deals out of it. So that's just my belief. And that's what I love about this event, because us three don't share the same belief, but we still do deals different way. So you don't have to
I think we're the same. We're all doing land.
We're all massive action takers. We're not afraid to make mistakes. We know we're going to screw up, right? It doesn't have to all be perfect, but when we take massive imperfect action, right? And we're ready, fire, aim, not this is the biggest thing I hope people took away from this workshop. So many people are stuck in ready, aim, ready, buy another course, watch another YouTube video, listen to another podcast, read another book, aim, fire a weak little shot. Oh, it didn't work, and get all frustrated and discouraged. We need to be ready, fire, aim people. We need to be those kinds of folks that are just like, all right, if Ray can do it, no offense to Ray. I'm saying, like, with all respect, mad respect for Ray, a Chinese immigrant who came here, couldn't speak English, was homeless, living in his car. So when he shared his story, it was really like moving in the room listening to his story. I think of all the three of us, people enjoyed listening to Ray the most, to be honest. Right?
Yeah.
Because we have no excuses.
Yeah. I think that's right there. Man, if Ray can do this, coming from another country and then homeless and then all these things, like, what's my excuse? I got a full-time job and 3 kids, and like, I'm not trying to make fun of that person, but everyone thinks they're just too busy. Well, we all have the same amount of hours in a day, 24 hours a day.
I guess people just get so afraid when they don't have a lot of money. So they got it backwards. So a lot of time we have to be afraid when we have a lot of money, because you have a lot to lose. But when you don't have money, what are there to be afraid of? I mean, let's say you have a job making 100,000. That's already a very high salary. 100,000 per month, per year. What's there to be afraid of? I mean, you make a couple of deals, you get them back, right? So,
and I see that with a lot of people too. I call that the golden handcuffs. They are making $100,000 a year, and things aren't that bad. However, they hate going into work on Monday, but things aren't bad enough for them to, take that extra time or burn that midnight oil for a little while, or get up a little earlier to start a career, a business, a lifestyle business. It's so easy to replace $100,000 a year in land. And I'm living proof of that. I wasn't making $100,000 a year in the military, but it was so bad that I had to make a decision really quickly. And I had a huge why ahead of me. I was preparing for the 3rd combat deployment. I already had 1 divorce underneath my belt. I didn't want to go through that again. This time children were involved, and I needed to do something. So I got up every single day 2 hours earlier than what I had to be on base. And that was 4 a.m. I was drained. By 9 o'clock, I hit the pillow and I would just go to sleep, but I did it. I replaced that income, that military income, with land investing.
Yeah. All right. So Monday evening, we went to a Cardinals game, and the Cardinals won. And in fact, the Cardinals have been in a slump. They were in last place, having a horrible start to the season, continuing the horrible season they had last year. And we went, and who did we play? We played a good team.
Was it Red Sox?
And the Red Sox, yes. And it was a great game. The Cardinals won because we were there. And their season has completely turned around ever since then. They're like in 2nd place in their division now, right?
Glad we could do that favor for them.
I'm so glad you guys came to that game. We had a blast. We rented our own suite. We had all you could eat food, all you could eat drinks, all you could eat junk food and desserts.
Oh,
and
the desserts.
They were pretty good, weren't they?
Yes.
I normally don't eat desserts, but I ate too much dessert then. But it was great just hanging out with everybody there. And not everybody came, but I think we had maybe 40 in the workshop and about 30 that came to the game, 32. It was a great evening, and I can't wait to do it again. But wasn't it cool, Ray? Remember we were waiting for everybody by the Stan Musial statue, and who's on the phone talking to sellers? But Brent, come on.
Yeah.
There's no
Do Deals Workshop. I was there to make money. I was away from my family. I was making money. No, we were making money together.
Cool.
That was really awesome.
I didn't arrive on time because I was in the car calling about 15 people, and all I got is no. It's not like us three is genius. Whenever we talk to the sellers, we get a deal right away. We get no's all the time. We just know how to handle it, and then how to turn no to a yes, or just how to turn a yes to a much deeper discount. That's what we do.
And we need those no's. There's a great book called Go for No. It's such a short Audible listen. It's like an hour and a half. Such an incredible book. And it's like, if I know if I get 5 no's a day, I made money. I made a lot of money that week.
You know, I have that book and I keep on forgetting to get the Audible for that book. So I'm going to Amazon right now. It's called Go for No.
Go for No.
Yeah, great. Okay, so then day 2, what did we do? We just made offers. Now, this was the cool part about it. This was the funnest part for me. Each of us took a turn showing how we evaluate deals and how we come up with offers. And I remember after we got done with each of us taking turns, it was like, that only took like an hour for all 3 of us to show. And I thought, what are we going to do? We need more things to fill up all of this time. But like, it was really actually pretty easy, wasn't it?
It was fun too. I saw a lot of interaction. I saw people taking action. There was a few people kind of sitting off to the side, but it was almost like contagious, and they wanted to get on the phone too.
Yeah. So we actually called sellers live, talked to them, made offers on real leads that were coming in. And, this is one thing that I worked really hard to make sure we had in this workshop was not teaching some fancy, complicated software or some kind of fancy spreadsheet, right? We gave everybody a blank piece of paper. This is a bill, but a piece of paper like this, right? And then it's just fill in the blanks. And it was really just like, okay, look at, I think on that paper, we have 4 or 5 areas to list the lowest active comps, comparables, and the lowest 5 sold comparables. Get an average price per acre, and then pick the lower number, go with that, make the offer, and make sure that you take the price that you could sell it for minus all of your expenses and your profit, and that's your offer price. What's funny is, Ray, talk about the way you do it. You do that also, but it doesn't matter what your number is. You're always going back to the seller and asking them, can you do any better than that? Right?
Absolutely.
And this was, I know I got a lot of good feedback from Ray, your philosophy on how, when you're talking to sellers, you just keep on asking these questions. Talk about that for a second, would you?
Absolutely. So one thing I believe is don't believe what the seller tell you. And for example, I just post Instagram today. By the way, I still flip cars on the weekend because I don't have nothing else worthwhile to do. So last weekend, I went to buy a car. Before I went there, the seller said, Ray, thank you for coming. And just to let you know, I'm firm on 3,000. This car worth about 5,800. So she told me 3 times before I ever go there. And so I went there and she said, Ray, I'm firm on the price, right? I said, okay, sure, I know. And eventually after 20 minutes talking, we brought it down to $2,600. So cars, land, or whatever you want to flip are the same thing. You're dealing with the seller directly, and you just have to know what to say to them. Find what's wrong with the land and find what's wrong with the cars, and then negotiate, right?
That was so good. And we'd spend a lot of time talking about how to find out what's wrong with the property. And there's always something wrong, right? Maybe it's got not enough trees. Maybe it has too much trees, not enough road access, or too much road access. It's too close to commercial, industrial. It's too close to the highway. Not enough road access, not enough utilities, too many utilities. It's too close to the power lines or the railroad tracks, or you know what I mean? It's finding that.
Even the land has zero problem. I actually had a deal. This land is perfect. The grass is like green as ever and has water, septic tank, power, everything. The land is square, perfect. I just told the seller, hey, Mr. Seller, I don't feel like paying that price. Could you do cheaper? And he dropped on 20 grand. And even though, the land is perfect, you can bring down price. So you just have to mail those out and negotiate.
Yeah. So good. Brent, you talked a lot about kind of sales and negotiating techniques because you're really, really good at that. Talk a little bit about the negotiating sales tactics that you taught.
Yeah, I think it's just to kind of echo what Ray's saying is it's just asking a lot of questions, just making that seller feel like we're listening, we hear them, we understand them, and just really just asking a lot of questions. At the end of the day, I don't want to say it like really it's controlling the conversation. I try and talk 10% of the time and let that seller, even the buyers, when I talk to buyers, I want to know what they're doing with the land as well. What's your dream about? We start talking about their dreams. We're tapping into their emotions. Same thing with these sellers. Hey, what would happen if you didn't sell this land and you still have it in 30 days from now? Just asking questions like that. Yeah. Not really a script, but just making sure that I'm listening, understanding what they're saying, and just coming to a common agreement, which is me buying the land. And I can't be desperate to buy the land. Another thing, like we all said this, is we want to have so many leads, so many land deals in front of us that we say no to 95% of them because we can't do all the land deals.
That's so. We talked about this because it was like our job is to disqualify these leads, right? Not to like become the desperate, motivated buyer, but we talked about this a lot, like trying to get the seller to sell us. And why should we want to buy your property? I remember talking about this. It's like sometimes you just need to say, you know what, I'm probably not your buyer.
Yeah, it's so true.
Because that puts you in that position, a more powerful negotiating position, doesn't it?
100%. It's like whenever you go to buy a new car. Everyone that's listening to this has probably bought a car in their life. When you go to that car dealership and 3 of those salesmen try and approach you at one time, what does that tell you? Oh, I am sought after. I am the buyer. I have all the power. And that's the same thing with buying real estate. We are the buyer. We have all the power. I'm actually going through a deal right now. It's on a property, and the seller's playing games with me. He just asked for $15,000 higher than what we already agreed to, and we're under contract for. So I told him he has until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning to say he wants to do the deal or not. And if I don't hear from him, I'm taking my money elsewhere and buying another property. That took a lot of my stomach strength to say that, because this is I felt it when I sent that text, and it would have been even harder to say on the phone, but this was a text message, and I don't know what's going to happen yet. And I hope he goes through with me. But what did that do? It gave me the power back, because I had lost it in that negotiation because someone else came in and offered more. And guess what? That person's out of the country right now. And I said, you have until 8 a.m. and I'm changing directions, and I'm not buying your property now. So we'll see. I'll have to let you guys know at the Due Deals Workshop if I get that deal or not. And I have $5,000 earnest money on this property. So it's just, but here's the thing. I have another land deal I'm ready to buy today. So it doesn't matter to me whether he does the deal with me or not.
Yeah, there's a good book about it. It's called Flip the Script. Don't buy the little pretty girl one on the book. It's not the one. Yeah. It's
so explain that.
It's a yellow
There's
book.
2 books called Flip the Script, and don't get the one with the pretty woman on the cover, right?
True. Anyway, so think about dating. I usually relate to dating. So when you date your wife or your girlfriend, or your girlfriend dated someone else, we are trying to find the right person. We are not trying to make the person. A lot of women think, oh, I'm going to fix him after marriage. You cannot, right? So you just have to find the right person to marry to, and you will save a lot of trouble. So that's how we do deals. We don't try to convince the seller to sell us the land at a certain price. We find the right seller, and we just have to negotiate a little and get more discount.
All right. So, hey, listen, I don't know if you guys are up for it. You want to do it again?
Absolutely.
I don't know, Joe. I don't know. We made a lot of money at that event doing deals. Sure, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, we had a little too much fun.
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, let's do it again. Heck yeah. So, guys, we are talking about some dates tentatively right now as we're recording this. We're going to do our Due Deals Workshop number 2, August 26 and 27. It's a Monday and a Tuesday. August 26, 27 in St. Louis, Missouri. We're not sure yet where it's going to be. Last one we did, it was at the Top Golf venue. We got a big conference room in the Top Golf area. We might do it there again. We don't know. It was kind of loud. We'll see if we can maybe get another room at Top Golf. It's not as loud, but it was great. We might do it at Top Golf again. But definitely, guess what? We're going to go to another Cardinals baseball game, right? We'll probably get a suite again reserve a big old suite for all of the food. And I think the Cardinals are playing the San Diego Padres that day, Monday the 26th, which is cool because I used to be a huge Padres fan when I lived in San Diego as a kid. So it'll be fun to see my Cardinals play the Padres on the 26th on that Monday. So in the Monday evening, we'll go to a baseball game, have a good time hanging out, come back Tuesday, get to work. Let's do some deals. I'm excited about this. And listen, guys, we've talked about this, and I warned you guys. I don't know if you believed me. I told you we're going to sell this thing out in like a couple, 3 days. And we did, didn't we? I mean, and we barely even promoted it to our audience. I think we did some Instagram, Facebook, podcast, whatever, and we sold it out. I think we're going to sell it out again. All right. So if you guys are interested, I want you to go to this website right now. As we're recording this, we need to update the dates and put some more information in there. But go to this website right now, dodealsworkshop.com. dodealsworkshop.com. It's 2 days, and we're not firm on the price yet. I think we are. Okay. Should we tell them how much it is? I don't know if they're going to believe it.
They'll believe it. Yeah.
No, they'll think there must be some upsell that we're going to sell them afterwards to get all of. No, it's $500. It's just $500. And we like to keep these small, so it's not going to be big. We don't know yet what size. It depends on the room what we're going to be at, but we like to keep it small. We answer everybody's questions, and we give everybody leads that are there. We're going to give everybody real seller leads that you can actually go out, and we're going to make offers on these leads, okay? So day one, the agenda is going to be real simple. Day one, teach. Day two, do. And we're going to be actually giving you the leads that you can then call or make offers on. And nobody else is doing this that I know of, right? And you get 3 different perspectives that are all complementary, but are just a little different. You might find, you might like my style, which is more automated, just get VAs and partner with local wholesalers, right? You might like Brent's, which is more, let's focus in on a little area. Let's make a bunch of really good offers and then talk to as many people as we can. Or Ray's was like, let's just send tens of thousands of letters or postcards and let's do the shotgun approach in a certain sense. And then just get them on the phone and just ask 20 times, is that the best you can do? I don't think I'm interested.
Absolutely.
Can you do any better than that? Right?
That's how I do it.
I love it. So, hey, Ray, we got to wrap this up. We're coming up to the top of the hour here. Do you have any comments or anything you want to end with?
Yeah. So I would, I wish I had this event like this when I first started, because when I first started my land journey, I actually paid a guy $60,000. I still regret to this day. Maybe on my dad's
zero.
Yeah, on my deathbed, maybe that's the one thing I regret in my life. But that's the number one thing. But $500 is no brainer. I really wish I started this way. It will make me a whole lot more money. But what can you lose? I mean, 500 in 2 days. You go there, you'll be surprised, and you have to find out. Sometimes the time to change our life is just one moment. You miss it, you still keep the old lifestyle. If you like it, fine. If you don't like it, if you hate your current lifestyle, that's the time to change.
How about you, Brent? Final words?
The price of inaction. What's if life still looks the same for you a year from now, what's that going to cost you? How much longer are you going to keep doing this? And you can keep watching all these videos, keep soaking up knowledge, keep educating, but it's time to let's do some deals together.
Yeah, man, I think about that. When my story is like, I was a professional student for 3 years. How many deals could I have done? How much money could I have made during those 3 years if I would have just done what that book said to do? If I would have just done what this guy said to do and stop questioning everything, just do it. So the speed to success is directly proportional to the speed of implementation. And that's what this workshop's all about. We're going to sell it out again, I'm sure, in a couple, 3 days when we open up the doors. So if you're listening to this, if you go to dodealsworkshop.com, and if it's still open, then there are seats available. But you better hurry up. It's $500. It's the best workshop you've ever been to. I'm excited about this. Hopefully this will be the second of many that we do going forward. It's a lot of fun. Maybe we should do one in Florida after number 2. What do you guys say about that?
I think that'd be a great idea.
All right. Hey, we will wrap it up here. Thank you, everybody, for being on this podcast. This is a joint podcast that we're doing with Brent and me on the Wholesaling Inc. So what's up, Wholesaling Inc., guys? Glad you're here as well. And all right, we'll wrap it up. Thank you, guys. I got to make like a tree and leave. I have another coaching call here in just a minute. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon. Bye, everybody.